Evening and welcome, and thank you for joining us at the roundtable. I am Leilani Williams, your host, and as you can see this evening, I have a very special co-host with me. I'm super excited and honored that Dr. Jeffrey Williams is here, the Bishop of the King's Cathedral, and of course, my husband is here as my co-host. Welcome and thank you for joining me, Jeffrey.
It is great to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be in the room tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, folks, as you're coming on and joining us tonight, please give us a thumbs up and put in the chat where you're watching from so we can greet you properly at some point tonight. Here at the roundtable, we have the opportunity to discuss topics that are important to our everyday lives with a Christian perspective. And so if that's something you're interested in, please make sure you hit that bell so that you can be alerted every time that there is a new episode. Tonight, I am excited.
Yes, I promise you, she is.
We have an amazing guest this evening, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to allow my husband to introduce him, and then we will bring him on.
Again, good evening, everyone. And really, I'm so glad you're watching and listening to this broadcast. And I'm just glad we can do this together because this guest is a friend and a mentor, but truly one of the most influential people on the planet. And he is none other than Dr. Deletoro Mcneil. He is a renowned peak performance expert who's delivered keynote speeches to a variety of entities all over the globe. He has done more than 4,000 live paid presentations from sports teams to convention centers to professional associations to churches and leadership conferences, hailing from Tampa, Florida. But he has recently been honored with an honorary doctorate degree of philosophy and humane letters, which is quite an accomplishment in and of itself. Dr. Mcneil, again, not only is a friend and a coach, a personal coach of mine, but he holds a CSP designation, which is the highest international recognition of professional speaking excellence. He is in the top 12% of paid professional speakers worldwide and has been featured on national and worldwide television networks, including Fox, ABC, NBC, BET, TBN, Daystar, Oxygen, and he is the man. Now, Dr. Delatorro, I know this is a long introduction, but I promise you I could go on for an hour without taking a breath. He is the author of now 8 books, and his 8th book is what we'll be talking about tonight, among other things. But he is indeed not only a professional at what he does, not only an expert at what he does for over 2 decades now, he is indeed the man that can inspire, encourage, and motivate you to be your very best every day. He is a father of 2 daughters, which I can most certainly relate. He is a friend to more people than we can even name tonight. And so we want to welcome to this broadcast of the Roundtable none other than Dr. Deletoro Mcneil II.
Hey there.
What's up, fam? So good to see you both. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you. Thank you for being with us.
A remarkable honor indeed. I'm so excited about this wonderful opportunity. Bishop, I love you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the last, I think it's like 2 years of our brotherhood. And it was instant friendship, instant bond, instant connection. And so I'm very, very grateful to you. And Leilani, it's a tremendous honor to finally meet his better half. And he talks about you all the time. Every time we talk about stuff, he's like, yeah, me and my wife going to do this together. We're going to take that out. We're going to do it together. So it's a beautiful thing to get a chance to meet you, First Lady.
It's great to meet you as well. Great to meet you as well. So we are super excited that you're here and even more excited about your new book. Congratulations on this. Amazing.
Thank you.
There's so much, and I know we're not going to be able to cover everything tonight. So let's just jump in because I know that you're about to slay and drop some information that is going to blow our minds. I don't want to waste any time.
Yes, ma'am.
Before you go,
No,
but I'm gonna get out the way.
No, he's here.
You know your book is your book is in airports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It really is deep, and I'm gonna be standing in front of airports talking about. I know him. Don't play.
It's a big deal, man. When you could go through an airport and you can see the book of somebody you actually know, you're like, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
I mean, in the last 2 weeks, we've flown over 10,000 miles easily, one way. So trust me, we're in the airports and we're seeing what's happening, brother. Again, thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna shut my mouth. I feel starstruck. I feel like I'm at a professional game somewhere trying to get an autograph. You know what I mean?
I love you, friend.
Hey, for a couple of years, so every time talking to you, this new time. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm out of this.
I love it. Thank you, my friend. Man, your words land so powerfully with me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your brotherhood. I want to say that publicly. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you you spoke my honorary doctorate, brother, before it ever happened. You always would call me Dr. Delatorro.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I had gotten a call saying, hey, and in fact, the same organization is actually honoring me this coming Saturday. I'll be in Atlanta receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from the Biden administration. And I'm being inducted as an envoy to the United Nations as an ambassador this weekend. So
that's amazing. That is amazing.
How you gonna just drop that like that and expect us to get something done?
That's awesome.
Y'all better recognize,
Leilani. Thank you.
Y'all better recognize what's happening right now.
I'm telling you,
man.
There is a very, very palatable shift that is taking place. And that's what I'm excited about. And I think tonight's conversation is really going to upset concepts in a profoundly powerful way to stir up the gift of God that's on the inside of folks. And so I'm excited about this broadcast and what it's going to do. So let's go.
I love it. So let's just get into, first of all, the book has parallels between business and life and how it's like a motorcycle or connected to a motorcycle. So I'd love for you to get into a little bit more about what that means. And if you're not a bike enthusiast, can you still enjoy and learn from this book?
Absolutely. So listen, the name of the book is called Shift into a Higher Gear, Better Your Best and Live Life to the Fullest. And the book is built on a motorcycle riding metaphor. However, you don't have to have ever ridden a motorcycle, have zero interest in riding a motorcycle, be deathly afraid of motorcycle. It doesn't matter. Anything on that, or have been riding for 20 years. It doesn't matter, because we literally break the concepts down and the principles so simple. And the whole goal is really to let the motorcycle stand as a simple metaphor for something that most people have needlessly, watch this, Leilani, feared. Because I speak all over the world, and I've been riding my motorcycle for about 10 years. And ever since I started, and thank God, knock on laptop, I've never had an accident. I'm very, very grateful. I'm very safe on my bike. But every time I would ride my motorcycle, God would start to download, Leilani, to me really, really powerful metaphors about life and business. And anybody that knows me knows a lot of people call me the metaphor monster, because I believe that God just talks to me in metaphors. I could be at a theme park and he will give me an illustration about life or business that connects to roller coasters. Wow. And then I'll end up doing a video about it. So he started giving me downloads about 10 years ago, and I started journaling about them, writing them down. And then at that time, I started sharing them, the messages in churches and in corporations, and they were resonating with people. Back then I was calling it Full Throttle. I then took those messages and turned it into a conference called the Full Throttle Experience. Ran that conference for about 6 years, and I taught about 30 principles about life and business live from the stage with my motorcycle on stage. So during the pandemic, we sold those concepts to a major publisher and got a global book publishing deal. And so we changed the title of the book concept from Full Throttle to Shift into a Higher Gear. So it's powerful. And Leilani, what I want people to understand is that at the end of the day, when I ask most people all around the world, how many of y'all have ever seen motorcycles? Everybody's hand goes up. How many of y'all think motorcycle riding looks kind of cool? Everybody's hand goes up. How many of y'all would like to ride? Most people's hands go up. How many of you actually ride? Hands drastically go down. 90%. And then I say, so what's the number one reason why you wouldn't ride? I'm afraid. The number one answer that I hear is I'm afraid. And so if that's the response, then that means that all around the world, we're not living our dreams. We're actually living out our fears.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That's good. That's good.
Here you go. We go through this every single time. Here we go.
Anytime, let me just put this in the conversation. Anytime fear is making the decision, you're not living your dreams. You're living your fears.
That's so good.
Wow.
That's so good. It's so true though, because most of us are living our fears and don't even realize it.
Exactly. It's so subtle, and that's why we bring so much exposure to fear in this book. If you have ever wrestled with fear in any way, shape, form, or fashion, this book will transform your life, because there's a difference between the spirit of fear and the emotion of fear. And so we tackle that in the book.
Wait. Now I'm turning into my husband. Wait, time out.
See?
Get into
I
that.
told you.
No, please get into that. The difference between the spirit of fear and you said what?
The emotion of fear. This will change your whole life. If we stop the broadcast after this one teaching, it's a wrap. Yeah. So in the church, we constantly talk. Of course, we know Scripture says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Okay, cool. Let's pause right there. There is a massive difference between the spirit of fear and the emotion of fear. So let's unpack that for a quick second.
Yeah.
There is no humanly way possible that you will ever get rid of fear. Fear is hardwired into your DNA. Here's the reason why. We're human beings. So the brain's job is to keep us safe.
Right.
So the brain's job is to perceive and sense danger and keep us away from danger. So when we were born, there were two fears that God gave us: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear, including the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of complexity, task complexity, the fear of rejection, the fear of public speaking, every other fear is what's called learned behavior in psychology. Wow. So what we have to understand is that if we're experiencing or wrestling with a fear, y'all, it's learned behavior. You learned somewhere along the way to fear that thing. So if you can learn fear, you can learn faith.
Right. That's so good.
Oh my God.
That's so good. And I love how that connects to the fact that you were just talking about how many people put their hand down about riding a motorcycle because of fear, and how we're all living that without us even realizing it. So we're not on a physical motorcycle because of fear, but we're living fear in our life.
So exactly, Leilani. So the whole goal is to teach people in this book how to live life the bike way. And that's what I'm so excited about, because it teaches people the massive differences between motorcycle riding and basically living or driving an automobile. And what I love about the book is Brian Tracy, who wrote the foreword, said that this is a first in personal development history, which it is, because personal development has never been compared so tightly to motorcycle riding ever. And so, I mean, we're getting rave reviews all over the world. Last week, Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant publicly said that this is the book. This is the required read for the rest of 2021. You cannot go into 2022 without reading this book. And so I thought that was so very powerful. We've been getting just incredible feedback all over the world about this book and the transformational impact that it's had.
I would totally agree with that. Now, since we're talking about fear, how would you, what's one or two things you would tell people to do in order to stop living fear and creating the life they actually want to live and live their dreams?
Okay, cool. So I teach this in chapter 5 of the book, because here's what I firmly believe. I think we have to be willing to change, right? So this whole book is built upon the concept of shifting. Shift into a higher gear denotes that you're already in a gear. So first of all, let me congratulate you for the gear that you're in, and say, okay, now it's time to shift into a higher gear. What I love about the word shift, you guys are going to love this, is that the very definition is transformational. Shift means to move or cause to move from one place to another, especially over a small distance.
Wow.
Another definition of shift is a slight change in tendency, attitude, direction, position, thought, habit. So I wanted to create a book that is doable. The truth is that most personal development resources are not doable, right?
Yeah.
They espouse a lot of great stuff, but it's not attainable and maintainable by the average person.
Right.
So each chapter starts with the action verb shift so you can take it to the next level. So to your point, Leilani, what I wanted to help people understand is that if you want to begin to start getting victory over fear, there's 3 things that I believe that you got to do. And I teach this. I think this is so very important, right? Because shift requires change.
Right.
So the question is, will you spare some? So what I help people do, is I help them. I say, listen, there's 3 things that you got to do. The first thing you got to do is you got to see whatever it is. I want everybody who's watching this to think of one thing in your life that you want to change. One thing in your life right now, because I want to make this a practical session. I don't want you to just listen. I want you to think about your own life.
Right.
Think of something right now that you want to change. And the first thing that you got to do if you want to change it is you got to see it as it is. Which means you got to be a realist. And let's stop right there, because the body of Christ struggles with being realists. And the reason why we struggle with being realists is because we want to be step 2 before we're step 1.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Watch where I'm going. We put rose-colored glasses on stuff. Step 1 is see it as it is. Step 1 is not see it through the lens of faith. Step 1 is not seeing it once God works it out. Step 1 is not none of that. We ain't there yet.
Oh, good. That's so good.
If you want to shift your body, see your body as it is, butt naked in the mirror. See it as it is. See your finances where they are. See your credit card debt where it is. See your team that's trying to help you build your brand as it is. Right. See your kids' grades in virtual school as they are. My daughter's grades were horrible in virtual school. And I'm like, are you kidding me? They're like, well, Dad, our grades will get better once we go back to physical school. I said, oh, no, they won't. They said, well, Dad, we just don't like e-learning. I said, really? You like TikTok, don't you? It was like, yeah, we love TikTok. I said, you like YouTube, don't you? It was like, yeah. I said, guess what? Both of those is called e-learning. So I said, so since you don't like e-learning, let's take TikTok away. Let's take YouTube away until you fall back in love with e-learning.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Grades shot back up, but I couldn't help my daughters until I was willing to see their grades as they are. So the first thing you got to do is you got to see your situation like it is. If that relationship is broke, busted, disgusted, call it that. See it as it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Step number 2, then you got to see it better than the way it is. Right? So you have to have a baseline, and then you got to see it better than the way it is. So you got to go from being a realist to now being an optimist.
That's good.
Okay? See it better. See your real estate portfolio better. See your financial situation better. See your credit better. See your kids' grades better. See your marriage better than the way it is. Right? Then you got to take the 3rd step, and then you got to go out there every day and be an activist and make it like you see it.
Wow.
Every single day, you got to get up and take small baby steps and go out there and make it like you see it.
Wow. That's so good, because most of us, as you said, we see everything through faith, right? So how do you move forward or ahead if you're already seeing things somewhere that you are currently further than you actually are?
You ain't there yet.
Right, you're not even there.
You're calling 911 to tell them to come to your house, and you're 20 minutes away from the house.
Right.
They can't rescue you because you ain't there yet. Yeah, I'll wait.
Right.
We need a realistic baseline of where we are. I remember a time when I was $50,000-$60,000 in bad credit card debt. Bad debt. Yeah. And I said, man, until I get honest about where I'm at with each card, the interest rates, the monthly payments, I looked at all of it. And then I said, okay, cool. Now that I saw it like it is, I can see it better than the way it is. I want to be at a point where I get offers for credit cards that I don't even need. Right. I can extend my credit to other family members to help boost their credit. That's where I wanted to be. And every day I got up and made it like I see it. And now I get a chance to live that life. The only debt I have now is good business debt. Right. I'm getting things, paying it off. But my point is this: in order to improve that situation, I had to be clear about where my situation was.
Right.
And so we got to start with honesty, and you got to, and not honesty in terms of how you talk to others, honesty about where you are with you.
Yeah. That's so good. I love that. And I love, one of the things I love, and I was telling my husband about this book, is that, like you said, it's bite sizes, so you don't feel overwhelmed by it. But right. Then you were brilliant in the way you developed the book. No, really, because I'm telling my husband that I hate workbooks, but you snuck a workbook into the book, right?
Snuck it in.
I'm reading the book and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I went from thinking I was just reading something to make me feel good. And then he somehow snuck in there. He's making me do the work as I read it. And then you have the nerve to go in and put questions in the back. It's everything in one. It's amazing. No, really, it's amazing.
Thank you. My mom would say you had the unmitigated gall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The bodaciousness.
Exactly.
The audacity.
That's right.
Like, what?
But Scripture says this in James, right? Right? Faith without the action is dead. So for me, I wanted people to have a book that would inspire them and motivate them, but then challenge them at the exact same time to take it to the next level and make them actually do the work. And actually do the work. And that's why I'm so excited about the book. We want everybody to make sure that they go to Amazon, go to Audible. That we actually recorded the book ourselves, so it's not an actor reading it to you. It's on Audible. You can go to Audible right now and you'll be listening to the book. I recorded all 5 hours of it. It's available everywhere major books are sold. We're so incredibly excited about it. And then we actually, I know, Leilani, I know you don't like workbooks, but we actually created a workbook inspired by the book.
Amazing.
And my master's degree is in curriculum design, instructional systems. And so I actually hired an instructional design firm to work with me while we were writing the book to create the workbook inspired by the book. So people can go to shiftintoahighergear.com, just our primary website, and they can actually pick up the workbook because it's a great companion. Because I believe, Leilani, I'm sure you believe in this too, in the importance of journaling.
Yes.
And exercises and activities that take the learning deeper, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what we did with the workbook. So we're so incredibly excited about it.
Yeah, so are we. So let's see. One of the things I know we believe and you believe that people most certainly want to succeed in life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, one of the biggest issues with most people is not only persistence, but consistency. And I'm curious to know, why do you think people have such a difficult time with that, willing to put in the persistent work to live their dream? And one of the things you talk about in the book is putting your weight into it. So can you talk a little bit about what that means?
All right. So chapter 4 in the book is called Shift Your Focus and Put Your Weight into It.
Yeah.
I can't. This stuff is so incredibly sickeningly good to me. Every time I get a chance to talk about it, it's like Rhema all over again. Every single time. So people ask me, do I get sick of interviews? I'm like, I can't. Literally, every time someone asks me these questions, I go bananas. There's chills that start here. They go all the way down to my toes and come back. Because when people get these concepts, it is life-changing, okay? So let's talk about how to put your weight into it. So one of the things you got to understand is that automobiles are cool. Motorcycles are way cooler. Here's why. In an automobile, when you want to change directions, you have to literally hard turn the steering wheel left or turn the steering wheel right, and the automobile goes in the direction whatever you turn the steering wheel. A motorcycle is not like that. A motorcycle, watch this, write this down, y'all, if you're taking notes. A motorcycle takes its direction from your intention.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say it again. Ooh. The motorcycle of your life is taking its full direction from your intention.
Wow.
Which begs the question, Leilani, how does the motorcycle know your intention?
Right.
Based on where you put your weight.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So if you want to go left on a motorcycle, you don't turn anything. You just lean.
Yeah. Right.
You just distribute your weight, and the motorcycle. If you want to go right, you just lean right, and the motorcycle it'll go in whatever. So you got to put your weight into it. And the truth is, we want all these amazing results in life, but most people are half baking, half doing, and half efforting things in life. If we was in a different broadcast, I'd say what I really want to say. But you know what I'm saying. We half do stuff, and then we want these incredible results. Right. Scripture even says, be hot or cold, but if you're lukewarm, you got to go.
Right. Yeah, right.
So you can't half do things in life, and you certainly can't half do things in the kingdom, but yet you want these incredible results. It doesn't work like that. So here's the question. Who have you gone all out for lately?
Ooh. Ooh.
And what have you put all your weight into lately?
Yeah.
Because the truth is, you're not going to manifest success in anything unless you're willing to lean into excellence.
That's so lean into excellence.
You
Come
gotta
on.
and Leilani, I use that word intentionally. We unpack it in the chapter, but I want people to lean into excellence, not perfection. Because watch this, y'all. Perfection is rooted in fear.
Ooh.
Think about
That's
it.
good.
Think about it. I'm stalling. I want to put this out there. I want to write the book. I want to start the business. But I want it to be perfect. So you stall putting out what God's given you because you're waiting for it to be perfect. Here's the truth. The reason why you stall is not because of the perfection. The perfection is rooted in a fear of people's opinion, people's judgment, people's criticism, what people are going to think, public opinion, blah, 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 blah. So what I encourage people to do is stop focusing on being perfect and commit to being excellent. And in fact, if you don't mind, I want to give everybody a gift who's listening to this broadcast right now. We created an 8-part video series. It's a masterclass on excellence, how to lean into excellence. And so all they got to do is text the word shift to 647-558-9895. Maybe if somebody can put that in the comments, just text the word shift to 647-558-9895. If they just text the word shift to that number, and then it's going to give them an immediate response back. They put in their email address, and by the time this broadcast is over, they will have in their email inbox an 8-part video series from me teaching them how to lean into excellence, because you got to put your weight into excellence if you want to get the results that you're looking for in life.
I mean, that's powerful indeed. Man, I've done that in terms of that texting the word shift to that number, and went through the videos, man. And I can't believe you're giving it away like that.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man.
I can't, I mean, this is the book I wish I wrote, and that was the videos I wish I put together. You know what I mean? It's powerful, you all. And anybody who's watching, listening, you need to text this information. Yeah. Text that word shift to that phone number that's on the screen. We'll make sure it's up there several times. It's on the screen now. And get a hold of those videos right to your email box. It's right there. They're short but powerful and life-changing.
Yeah, don't miss out on that amazing free gift, folks. And
if I can say this really quickly, Bishop, you just said something powerful, but it's true. When you put your weight into excellence, you should be committed to over-delivering.
Yeah, period.
Watch this. If we're made in the image and likeness of a more than enough God, that means we should be more than enough children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which means that everything that comes from us should be from an over-delivering spirit.
Wow. That's powerful.
So my thing is, I could give away a video series. Why? Because he put more than enough in me.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So God gives seed to the sower. So the more wisdom I give away, the more he deposits in me. It's quite the more I sow into people with a video series or with this or that or the other. So I'm not worried. There's so much of an infinite supply that's being downloaded. I'm not worried about the series, but I want people to have something immediately as soon as this is over that they can begin to start to chew on that will show them how to model, watch this, excellence. Because the truth is, write this down, everybody, success leaves clues. We just got to go find them.
That's right. It's so true. My husband says that all the time. Success leaves clues.
You just got to go find them. So Leilani, there's one more piece to this that, girl, you're going to run out your chair on this one. Yeah. So not only do we have to lean into excellence and put our weight into it, WEIGHT, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, once you've put your best effort into whatever it is that you want in life or in business, you then have to put your WAIT into it, because at the end of the day, some things just take time.
Wow.
And here's the truth. We live in an Instapot, Insta-famous, Instacart, Instagram, 4K, virtual reality, meta, crypto, Bitcoin world where everything is happening like this.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all of it. But the truth is, some things just take time. Scripture says, as long as the earth shall remain, there will be seed, time, and harvest. There is going to be a time where you got to wait.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so powerful because people don't want to put the work into it, or their WEIGHC, and they're not willing to wait for it because they take one step, it doesn't work. They're not a millionaire overnight, and they say, forget it doesn't work. I'll move on to something else.
And that's exactly why you got to learn how, we say this in the book, you got to learn how to be like a stamp and stick to one thing until it delivers.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good.
You got to stick to one thing. Scripture says this in Psalms. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of the sinner, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. In that law, how shall he meditate day and night? He or she shall be like a tree. Pause.
Yeah.
I have never seen a tree come out of the ground with multiple trunks. I'll wait. It doesn't exist. A tree establishes a trunk first.
Yeah. Come on.
And then it establishes branches.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get all these branches and you ain't got no trunk.
That's so good.
Tyler Perry had a trunk. He was consistent with one thing, Medea, in plays for decades before he became a billionaire, before he had movies, before he had his own studio, before he just built his own airport.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey had a tree trunk. She was faithful with one show every day for 30 years.
Right.
Before she had a magazine and television and studios and a network. So we're trying to branch out without the trunk.
Right.
What's the one thing that you're willing to stick to? What's the one thing that you're willing? What egg are you willing to sit on until that hush puppy hatches?
Yeah, true that. Wow, Doc.
That's so good.
I mean, we want where you're at without putting the 18 plus years. And we want the presidential medal, and we want
they want all that.
Degree, and actually an honorary doctorate, if I may, an honorary doctorate degree at your level is actually more telling and revealing than an earned doctorate. An earned doctorate is garnered in 3 to 5 years, depending on what program you're doing. And an honorary doctorate degree is 10, 15, 20 years in the making with a body of work, aka the trunk you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And so it takes these things in order to achieve the dream. I need a nap. We've been through this, right? Through all the crust the stage and the business. I feel like I need a nap, man.
Listen, I knew you were going to drop some stuff that was going to completely blow our minds. I knew it. I was waiting for it. I was like, listen, as soon as he comes on, it's over.
It's a wrap. It's
just over.
So, Leilani, what I would encourage listeners to do right now and viewers to do is ask themselves this question. As we are embarking upon the exodus of 2021 and the genesis of 2022, what have I put my weight into?
Yeah.
Who have I put my weight into? Watch this. What am I already being excellent in? I just got to give it some more time.
Yeah, that's good.
Watch this. I don't care how creative you are. You can't produce a baby in a month by getting 9 women pregnant. Some things just take time.
What?
It's a timeout, not a technical foul, but a timeout. You all hear what's going on on this.
Oh my God, you're right. It doesn't come any faster.
You got to.
You have to wait.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait for it.
And you've got to do all the things to nurture it so that it grows and develops, and then eventually you have the baby.
Bishop Jakes said something. Bishop Jakes has been a mentor of mine for at least 15 years. And I've been in some really, really coveted rooms with him and gotten some tremendous mentoring from him. And one of the things that he said to me that changed my entire life years ago, because he started mentoring the top young Christian leaders under the age of 40. And he did this in a program called Project Gideon for several years. It was invitation only. There was no fanfare. It was never promoted on TBN. There was no big lights. There was no big stage. It was a microphone and a stool. And for Bishop Jakes, there was no fanfare at all.
Right.
He said the generals are dying and we don't have young leaders ready to take the baton, to take the mantle. So he said, I'm going to take it upon myself to mentor. Anyway, one of the greatest things that he taught me in those sessions was, he says, the butcher only reaches for a sharp knife.
Wow.
He said, God is the butcher. He said, the butcher only reaches for a sharp knife. He said, so here's what I need you to do. Stop complaining or worrying or wondering when your time to shine is going to be. Your only job right now is two things: staying sharp and also waiting quietly in the drawer.
Wow.
He said, you ain't got to work. He said, if you commit to staying sharp, when he reaches, he's reaching for you.
Right.
But if he reaches in that drawer and you a little dull, or you got a little bit of rust on you, or you got this and that going on, right? Because you ain't taking no time. While you're in the drawer and the drawer is closed and he ain't thinking about you, that's when you should be sharpening your blade.
Wow.
So that when he reaches, he chooses you.
Wow.
That changed my life, because it taught me something that Will Smith says: don't just get ready, stay ready.
Stay ready.
Boyz II Men taught me that 20 years ago. Anybody who knows Dr. Delatorro knows that before I became a speaker, I wanted to be a member of Boyz II Men. Period. Do not even talk to me. If you don't even understand who I am until you understand Boyz II Men. I mean, favorite group of all time. Been to 20 concerts. When Mike McCary had to leave the group because of scoliosis, I swore that they were going to pick Deletoro to be the new bass singer.
Take over bass.
Right? And so when I laugh soprano, but when I sing bass. So I've been in like 2 or 3 different singing groups.
It
was serious. But watch this, though. I bring up Boyz II Men for a very funny but powerful lesson. Boyz II Men, if you notice, every single time Boyz II Men were ever interviewed, at the end of every interview, the host would say, can you take us to commercial with a song? And within 3 seconds, these guys would break out into perfect 4-part harmony. They didn't get ready. They stayed ready. And I think we have to lean into excellence and stay ready. Scripture says, be ye also ready in season and out of season. I coach speakers. I mentor speakers. I help them to take their speaking presentation skills to a completely different planet. And one of the things that I teach speakers, I say, listen, you got to stay ready. You got to, in today's world where every single cell phone is now a broadcasting studio.
Right.
You have to stay ready. You have to have something on your lips ready to say at all times.
That's good.
Yeah. That's hot, man.
That's good.
That's hot.
That's good. Oh man, I know we don't have a lot of time left, but
we good. We got about another 20 minutes on my side, so we good.
Listen, so I love the fact that you took the time to dedicate the first part of chapter 7 to honoring your mother past several years ago. We believe in honoring your parents, and we believe that is so important to your life and to your future. And so one of the things that you talked about is that you mentioned that she taught you an invaluable lesson that represents the engine of the bike of our lives, right? Yeah. So
don't hurt us.
I really want you to talk about that lesson and how it relates to our emotional mastery, which I think is so important. Please.
Yeah. So thank you for bringing it up. I have chill bumps. So I love chapter 7.
Yeah.
Shift from task mastery to emotional mastery.
Yeah.
And here's the reason why I believe that that's so important. I think, y'all, we live in a world where, because this book is really written to high achievers. It's really written to people who are already in a gear. They just want to take it to the next level.
Right.
So we know how to get stuff done. We know how to complete things and check stuff off. But here's the truth. I honestly believe that the engine of the motorcycle of your life, that thing that just roars and purrs inside you, is not about what you accomplish. It's not about your tasks. What that engine of the motorcycle of your life is the quality of the core emotions you experience every day.
Yeah.
The heartbeat of who you are can really be boiled down to your emotional states.
Mm.
And so my mom, who died April 30th, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2013, she was my best friend, more than a mom. She was a mentor. She was a coach. From the time I was 4 or 5 years old, my mom was a Sunday school teacher and an English teacher. So if you were going to be Olivia's kid, you had to be able to talk.
Right.
Yeah. So the time I was in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, man, I got the longest part in the Easter play, Christmas play. I had to play Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Isaac. My friends got like 2 words, Jesus wept. I got like 4 pages of stuff. I'm like, what is this? And my mom would be on the second row in the deaconess section. I can't hear you. Use your hands more. And she was dead serious. And so, but my mom was literally one of the most articulate human beings I've ever heard. I mean, she was so profound in how, and she used to narrate gospel stage plays and productions. And so I dedicated that chapter to her because my mom taught me a powerful lesson about emotional mastery. And that lesson is this: no matter when you talk to my mother, no matter what was going on in her life or your life, when you asked her, Olivia, how you doing? Her number one response was, "Oh, child, I am blessed." That's exactly how she would say it, whether it was 2 a.m, 5 p.m, 12:30 at night. "Oh, child, I'm blessed." That was her response. Even when she was in the hospital on breathing machines. "Oh, child, I'm blessed." So, Leilani, my mom taught me that her emotional home plate was set to gratitude.
Wow.
That's deep.
It was set to gratitude.
Wow.
So no matter what happened in her day, she always found her way back to gratitude. Come on, somebody.
That's good.
And what I talk about in that chapter is the fact that you will always find your way back home.
That's good, man.
So because think about it, we all know people who, no matter how great their day goes, their emotional home is set to frustration, stress, fear, anxiety. Right. So they always find their way back to pissed off.
Yeah. Right.
But we also know people who, no matter what bad happens in their day, they find their way back to contentment. They find their way back to "I will bless the Lord at all times." They find their way back to whatsoever things are lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to get clear about what your we all have this app on our phone called Waze. We also have one called Google Maps.
Yeah.
I don't care where I am in the city or around the world. If I hit that thing that says home,
yeah,
it's going to route me back home.
Right.
And your emotions work the same way. So the engine of the motorcycle of your life is the core emotions that you choose to experience on a daily basis.
Wow.
Choose to experience.
So that's why in the book, I give you an assignment. And that assignment is, what are the core emotions that you currently experience on a daily basis? Let's get clear about that. And then which are the ones that you really want to experience on a daily basis? And then who said, profound moment, who said that something has to happen in order for you to experience that emotion?
Ooh.
Wow.
In other words, you have been programmed by society that something has to happen in order for you to feel happy.
Right.
Something has to happen in order for you to feel grateful. Something has to happen. No. You get to sit right in. You can choose right now. You can make a decision right now to be in bliss, and you will be in bliss.
Right.
Let me explain. Watch this. Let me explain this from a neurological association standpoint, and according to neuroscience, there's a part of our brain called the amygdala. The amygdala cannot tell the difference between a real experience and an imaginary one.
Wow.
Okay.
That's why Olympic athletes are trained in the brain. They are trained to run the race in their mind first.
Yeah.
To load the hard drive of their future with the outcome of the race before their physical body ever runs the race.
Right. Wow.
Load the hard drive of their future.
See, you got to understand something about the way the brain works. This will disrupt, because we talk about don't be conformed, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But most people don't even study neuroscience enough to understand how to teach the mind. So watch this. The only reason why your brain, okay, let me say it differently. The human mind will do more to avoid pain than it will to gain pleasure. And the reason why it does that is because it's trying to keep you alive. So your brain is hypersensitive to anything that it does not feel like you've had a prior reference of success for. Listen to me, man of God. Listen to me, woman of God. I'm gonna say that again. Your brain, watch this, will do more to avoid pain than it will to gain pleasure.
Right.
Because your brain's number one job is to keep your body alive. So it senses danger. And your brain perceives anything that you have not had prior success in as dangerous. So watch this. When you have an idea for $1 million business, when you have an idea to go travel in a different country or move to a different, or to take your ministry to another level, anytime you introduce something new to your brain, the first thing your brain says is, okay, let's look in our past and see if there is a previous reference point of success in that thing. If it looks over the Rolodex of the reality of your yesterday and it cannot find anything, it comes back to your present and says, don't do that. Because that's dangerous. You don't have a prior reference point of success.
Right.
That's why imagination is so important. That's why scripture says, write the vision and make it plain. Because when you incorporate imagination and vision, when you use vision, you are preloading the hard drive of your mind with something that has not happened yet. Faith called those things that be not as though they were. So when you imagine something, the amygdala kicks in and says, I don't know if this was real or imagined, but now we have a reference point of success. Let's go after it.
Wow.
I'm done. I'm done with the whole broadcast. I can't take no more.
No.
I can't take no more.
Like, I don't. My mind is completely blown right now. No, you don't even understand. My mind is completely blown. Can I just be okay? Can I just be transparent? My mind is blown because I have always been a daydreamer. Like, I dream about stuff that I want. Yeah. And at some point in my life, I was told or I heard that you shouldn't do that. Stop it. Stop daydreaming and get to doing something. So you are completely blowing my mind right now, because ultimately you're telling me that I put a stop to my own forward trajectory into achieving my goals because I literally blocked my vision for the future. You are blowing my mind right now.
And that's why it's so important that though the vision tarry, we got to wait for it. Scripture even says we got to put our weight into it. WAIT, right? Wait, I say I'm Lord, right? But at the end of the day, you have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it.
Yeah.
Walt Disney saw it.
Right.
And we send our kids to see his big giant mouse because he saw it before he saw it.
Right.
So you have to see it first.
That's so good.
And so every time you daydream, Leilani, every time you're literally loading your mind with what's possible.
Right.
And when you load your mind with what's possible, when you have the idea, now watch this. Once you go to the dealership and you sit in the car, even before you can afford to buy it, now you've loaded the hard drive of your mind that it's possible.
Right.
So now when you see it on Instagram and Facebook or whatever, you're like, okay, it's doable. So stand in front of the house you want and take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Sit in the car before you ever go apply for the mortgage for it. Right. Go on those vacations and dream.
Yeah.
Because you got to load the hard drive so that your brain looks at what you want to do as doable and as possible. And once you load the hard drive, then your brain is on your side. Your brain is only your friend if you train it.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, your brain will stop you from some of your greatest ideas. I ask audiences all over the planet, how many of you all talk yourself out of some of your greatest opportunities?
Ooh.
Every hand goes up.
Yeah.
because your brain is your friend once you train it. And that's why I make people enroll in our programs. I get people involved in our, and Bishop will tell you this. Part of the biggest work that we do, whether it's Crush the Stage or Business Master or any of our mastermind programs, is we're doing mindset work. We're helping to change your mindset. We're helping to deconstruct your old concepts and rebuild something new and different, because most of us have been miseducated and mistaught for decades. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You almost got me over here speaking in tongues, brother, because I you know what I mean? I'm trying to find a language for this new language. You know,
it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
Man, like, listen, I mean, you that are watching and listening, I mean, it doesn't get any more real than this. I really wish I could act like I know I've heard this before. I really wish.
Right, that part.
You know what I mean?
That part.
I promise you, this is revolutionary, transformative.
Yeah, man.
Real. This is, I mean.
Listen, y'all. It is 100% time to shift.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. And Leilani, but before you, please ask me about chapter 5. You got to ask me about chapter 5.
Well, no, I want to ask you about chapter 5.
You got to ask me about chapter 5
because I can't even take it.
I can't either. Be clear, I can't either.
Chapter 5, you talk about kickstands and you can't ride with your kickstand down, right? Come on. So talk to us about the metaphor.
I clap for myself. I clap for my daggum self. I ain't gonna wait for nobody.
So talk to us about what the kickstands mean and what they represent, and how do we manage those and prevent them from holding us back in our life so that we can seek success.
So I want everyone to please lean into this conversation.
Yeah, please.
Because literally the enemy's number one job is to use your excuses to rob you of the life that Christ died for you to have.
Ooh.
Let me help you with something. The only purpose, and Bishop, I'm gonna say this to you publicly. Are you guys back live now?
Yes.
Okay, man, y'all. If your ministry gets this book for the whole congregation, I will fly up there and do. I'll come up there and we'll do something together. Because this content is so incredibly sick. Okay. And I gotta put my hands around your neck, because everything we've done so far has been virtual. I haven't even had a chance to hug your neck live, Doc.
That's right, I know, right?
Isn't that crazy? But we're like best friends, and we've never like shook hands before. It's like crazy. Anyway, so this is gonna make you turn your webcam off. The purpose of a kickstand is to support the motorcycle when the motorcycle is not in use.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say it again. The entire purpose of the kickstand is to prop up and or support the motorcycle when the motorcycle is not in use. So chapter 5 is called Shift from Excuses to Powerful Declarations, because you cannot ride with the kickstand down. Now watch where we're going with this. So if the kickstand's only job is to support the bike when the bike is not in use, then what that means is your excuses have one job: to prop up your life when your life is not in use.
Wow.
Every time you use an excuse, you are not using your life.
Wow, man. Wow.
And y'all, this is so true, because this is true, y'all. This is on a motorcycle, you can't even start the engine till you kick back the kickstand.
Wow.
It tells the motorcycle the kickstand is like it's like a fail safe. It's like a you know how guns have a safe on them?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the gun safe. The what's it called?
The safety.
The safety.
Yeah.
You have to flick the safety for the trigger to work, because it wants to make sure it prevents misfires. Right. Same concept. So on a motorcycle, the engine won't even turn on until you kick back the kickstand, because the kickstand tells the motorcycle whether the rider is ready to ride or not.
Wow.
So when you use an excuse, you're telling God and life, I'm not ready to ride.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to get healthy. I'm not ready to get fit. I'm not ready to fix my marriage. I'm not ready to take care of my kids. I'm not ready to grow my business. I'm not ready to invest in the crypto world. I'm not ready to scale my real estate portfolio to multiplied millions because I'm constantly using kickstands.
Yo, you are hurting us right now.
And here's what's powerful. The moment you mount a motorcycle and you kick back the kickstand with your left foot, guess what's now taking the place of the excuses? Both of your legs are now doing the work and both of your arms are doing all the work that the kickstand was doing. And what that tells the motorcycle is, now we're ready to ride. So until you're really ready to take personal responsibility for your life going to the next level, you cannot succeed, because you cannot ride with the kickstand down.
Dude, that's so good. I mean, like, there's so much in that.
It's sickening. Leilani, think about it. The kickstand makes the bike look cute. So you look cute on social media. You look good.
Right.
You coming up in church, you look great. Propped up on a kickstand, but you look good.
Not going anywhere.
Ain't going nowhere. Life ain't budged. Income ain't budged. Goals ain't been budged. I'm hurt all y'all. Watch this. You have a choice. You can live 100 years, or you can live 1 year 100 times.
Wow. Wait, say that again. Say it again.
Listen, you can live 100 years, or you can live 1 year 100 times. Stuck in your same circle of sameness, stuck in your same circle of friends, stuck in your same circle of whack psychology, stuck in your same circle of repeating the same bad habits that don't, stuck in your same pathology without fixing it and healing, without sitting on somebody's couch and getting the therapy necessary to actually be able to move past it. If you didn't come from a good family, then you need to let a good family come from you.
Oh.
Listen, stop that. almost tore up this apartment up here in Virginia Beach. Did y'all hear that?
What just happened?
Doc, I bought 25 of your books.
Thank you. Did. Thank you so much.
I said, maybe I can get some, 25 people together who just really want to get down to business.
You got to do a book study on this.
This is
have to.
We're gonna do this congregational thing. Is what we're gonna do.
Yes, sir.
You just heard us, man.
My phone is blowing up with people telling me when we could have you in, and what the weekend would look like. I have people telling me.
Hey, they're telling you how it's gonna work.
Blowing my phone up right now with dates to have you in. Listen,
crazy, man.
People, I'm serious. If you have not figured this out from listening to this episode, I need to tell you, if you do nothing else, you need to purchase this book. Like, legit. Tell us again how we buy it, where do we go?
Fantastic.
Because you all need to not only buy this book for yourself, but it needs to be a Christmas gift for someone you love, someone that you know is trying to build a business, someone you know who is not living out their dreams but want to, people who are stuck and don't know how to shift to the next level. Right. This needs to be the gift that you get for people. So Dr. Delatorro, tell us again, how do we get our hands on this book? Because I need people to buy this tonight.
Exactly. Like right now, literally right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, Leilani, appreciate that. So we want everybody, you guys, one of the easiest things you could do, you can go on Amazon and grab it. If you're a Barnes & Noble person, go to Barnes & Noble and grab it. If you're an Audible person and you like to hear the content, right? Listen, faith cometh by hearing, right? So if you like really good content and you want to hear it, grab it on Audible. Use 1 credit on Audible, and it's me reading it. It's not some actor. It's me reading it to you, so you'll love it. It's really, really fantastic. You can go to our primary website, which is shiftintoahighergear.com, and you can actually grab the workbook from the primary website. Plus, there are book bonuses that are available on the primary website as well.
Okay.
So the primary website is shiftintoahighergear.com. And listen, this is the time of year, and this is the kind of book that you need to go ahead and grab 5 or 10 copies of it, because I guarantee you, your friends, your family, your significant other, your children. We just did a book signing this past weekend at the Harley Davidson dealership here in Tampa.
That's awesome.
It was so incredible. It was so incredible. Man, it was so funky. Oh, man, it was awesome. And so there was a father that came and bought 7 copies of the book. He said, my wife and all of my kids have to read this book. We're reading it over the holidays together. So when the kids are out on winter break, this is the book I'm making my kids read. He said, because I want to introduce my children to personal development, and they will love this book because every time they see a motorcycle on the street, they're going to think of these principles. And that's exactly why I wrote the book the way I did. So you never ride a motorcycle your entire life. Every time you see a motorcycle, it's going to be an anchor. It's going to be a callback neurologically to the principles in this book. And so it's really, really powerful. So we want people to go on Amazon, grab the book, et cetera, et cetera. Get multiple copies, gift it away to people, create study groups around this book. There's over 80 different learning concepts in this book. We've discussed probably 6 of them tonight. 6 of the 80. And then there's a 30-question discussion guide in the back of the book. So it's an easy thing for you to create, to lead a study group, to lead a team of people through this process. It is absolutely incredible. There's 12 chapters in the book, and each chapter is only 3,500 words or less. And what we did to make this book and if you, Leilani, I know you know this. There's no long stories in this book. There's no, in 1924. Literally, as soon as you start this thing, you're going on a ride. I mean, it is pedal to the metal. I mean, people are talking about how they can't put it down. It's like once they start, it's very difficult to stop reading it because it's that powerful. So that's where they can go get it. Also, y'all, we have a very thriving Facebook community of people who are reading this book right now. It's called
Excellent.
Yeah, it's called the Shift into a Higher Gear Global Biker Posse. So just search Shift into a Higher Gear Global Biker Posse, and you can join our free Facebook community. We're in there every week doing teachings around this book, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you get a chance to be around other high achievers who are loving this material, loving this content, and using it to take them to the next level. So we want people to do that. Make sure you do the text to join campaign we talked about earlier, so that you can get that in your emails, so I can be teaching you about leaning into excellence. It's just so much great stuff that we've put out there, and we're really excited about it. And y'all, I think you'll find this is kind of interesting. God gave me an idea a couple of weeks ago to do a masterclass on one of the 80 principles in the book. So last night we did something called the No Excuses Masterclass, and I just taught for 2 hours about getting rid of excuses. Man, it was packed out, sold out. It was incredible. We did it on Zoom. It was absolutely sensational. And so we're going to do another one at the top of the year. So we're really, really excited about that. And so there's just great things happening, and I'm really, really grateful. And so I want people to connect to this brand. If y'all can follow us on social media. I'm on every platform at Dr. Deletoro on everything. So please follow us on social media. And for those of you all who are watching and you know that a part of your life assignment, a part of it has to do with public speaking and presentation and using your God-given ability to speak and communicate in any capacity, I triple dog dare you to consider working with me in the same program that your bishop did and go through our coveted speaker training program called Crush the Stage.
Yes.
Crush the Stage is the only speaker training program on the planet that's been endorsed by both Toastmasters International and the National Speakers Association.
Wow. Okay?
That's amazing. Man.
It's in your bishop's words, it is a 36-hour immersion experience into the world of professional public speaking.
Yeah.
And Warren Buffett went on record to say that the public speaking is the most important business skill he ever developed.
Yeah.
And so, y'all, if you're interested in learning about how you can take your speaking to the next level, please visit this website. It's helpmecrushthestage.com. www.helpmecrushthestage.com. And all the information about our next January cohort is gonna be on that page. Again, the website is helpmecrushthestage.com. And it's an incredible 3-day experience. It'll change your life. Bishop has referred multiple people to the program.
Yeah.
Bishop is one of my top affiliates. I mean, literally. I mean, he's constantly referring people to it, and so I'm just so grateful because it's transforming. Yeah. Thank you so much. So that's how people can stay in contact with us. That's how people can get more information about it, the book, as well as some of our other programs. But we're just excited about what God is doing, and they're just. I've gotten clear about one thing. I know that God has a really strong marketplace anointing on my life for transformation. And so I'm grateful to be able to go into, even though I'm born and raised in the church, and I still speak in mega churches and all that stuff. I'm grateful to be a marketplace dude because I get a chance to go places that most faith-based titles would keep me out of.
Right.
And so I'm able to go into the conventions and the professional associations and corporations and pro sports teams and all these other amazing places and take light where there's darkness.
That's awesome.
I mean, you got professional athletes who are watching right now. On top of that, Dr. Deletoro, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I do want you to mention a little bit about the $1 Million Roundtable.
Wow.
Particularly the fact that this is your third time and people go an entire lifetime without ever doing this.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk to us about this. If you wouldn't mind, then
so really grateful. So we had an epic career win about 2 weeks ago. The $1 Million Roundtable is the largest international association for financial services and insurance professionals all over the world. So if you name the financial institution or the insurance organization, they belong to the $1 Million Roundtable. So State Farm, Prudential, Bank of America, you name the financial institution or the insurance group, they belong to MDRT. Okay. And so MDRT is considered one of the hardest stages to get in your speaking career. If you get it once in your career, you're considered very blessed. Wow. So I did it for the first time in New Orleans. 10,000 of the top financial professionals from 80 countries all around the world. They vetted 700 speakers for 17 spots on the main platform. I was the only African-American male speaker. And that went sensational. It went so well that they invited me to Hong Kong, China to do the same thing a year later for about another 9,500 people in Asia. That went so well, they rebooked me most recently a couple weeks ago for the third time. And I was in Philadelphia and we spoke for the $1 Million Roundtable for the third time. So we've done a three-peat and none of my mentors have done the $1 Million Roundtable 3 times. None of them. And so they're like, man, it's like a, we're just excited.
Yeah. I mean,
that's amazing.
I mean,
that's fantastic.
We don't, King's Cathedral family and others who are watching, affiliates and others who are watching and will be watchers from around the globe. We don't bring anybody in front of the people that we have responsibility for who isn't clearly platinum, right?
Yeah.
And Doc, I've got your book. We both got your book. I've got the audio, which I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Bought 25 copies of it and been to 2 of your courses.
Yes, sir.
The reason why I mention that is, folks, if we're eating this, digesting this and investing in this, you don't want to miss really what's happening. There are a few times in a person's life where you're in front of someone and I haven't recognized their greatness. And I'm vowed that I would not do that again, that I would not miss my moments of those who are truly, truly, truly on the earth to change my life and other people's lives. And Dr. Deletoro Mcneil II is one of those individuals. And so we are privileged and truly honored, and I would argue graced by God for this moment for you to speak into our lives. And so I wanted to say that publicly.
I love you, man. I love you so much.
On my wife's show, but I had to crash the party.
So grateful that you did, and I'm so excited about this incredible platform and what you all are doing. And I'm just so grateful for this wonderful roundtable and King's Cathedral and what you all are doing. And I'm excited to be a part of it. So I'm family. I consider myself family. I love you
absolutely.
all. I love you all like family. I mean that.
Thank you so much for being here. So at the end of all my shows, I like to do just a few rapid fire questions. If
Please.
you would indulge me. What is your favorite word? Wait. I have to preface this for most people on this show. What is your favorite word that you can say on the show?
That's hilarious. I actually love the word transformation. I love the word transformation. I feel like that's my assignment. And in fact, one of my alter egos is Optimus Prime. So, at my conference, we do one of the days at my conference, I make everybody in the audience dress up as their favorite superhero or super shero. And so I dress up as Optimus Prime.
That's
and
awesome.
and I even do it on stage, and we do a whole little thing around Optimus Prime and the Autobots. So one of my favorite words is transformation.
I love that. So what is your favorite sound?
I love the sound of running water. I love the sound of like waterfalls or like water flowing over rocks, or the sound of like streams. I love the sound of movement of water. Does something to me. Like every time I go on a cruise, I make sure I book a balcony because I want to go to sleep to the ocean. And I leave the sliding glass door open. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
Brother, I told you from day one we was brothers from another mother. I told you that from day one. So we cruising together. Come on, Doc.
I love that. Okay, what sound do you hate?
I hate nails going across the chalkboard.
Yeah.
Can't do it. And I also hate when you get to-go orders and they put them in the styrofoam and they stack the styrofoam.
Yes.
And then it's like rubber. I can't. I will pull over.
I hate that sound too. I'm with you on that one. I hate that sound. Okay, so
I love these questions.
If you had an opportunity to do it all over again and you had to do a job other than what you're currently doing, what occupation or what career would you pursue?
I would have been a member of Boyz II Men. That's my answer. I would have been a member of Boyz II Men.
Lifetime member.
If I couldn't do that, I would have been an actor. I would have been like a Denzel Washington, or I would have used my acting to inspire. I would have chosen roles that inspire like he does. I would speak at graduations. I would use the platform of entertainment to inspire through movies, and then I would use my personality and my brand to speak at graduations and commencements to encourage people.
Wow, I love it. Dr. Delatorro, thank you so much for being with us. I know that you are a busy man. I know that you are booked on thousands of shows, thousands of podcasts. So we most certainly appreciate you gracing our presence tonight and sharing these gold nuggets. Folks, please buy this book. It is not just because we're fans of his. It is because this book is truly transformational. And it after 2020 and the pandemic and all that we've been through, it is time for us to shift and go to another level. And so please buy the book. If you are a part of our Sozo, you might as well go ahead, because at some point this is going to be the book for our next Sozo session. So make sure you go ahead and buy the book, because you're going to have to anyway. So you might as well do it now.
That's right.
Again, we are so honored that you've been with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
And Leilani, you mentioned one thing. You mentioned podcasting. We actually have a podcast. It's called Crushing Life with Delatorro. So everybody who loves podcasts, search for Crushing Life with Delatorro. And that's another way, absolutely free, that you can be inspired by us. And I'm telling you, each one of our podcast episodes is like a seminar. The content is so rich. I mean, it is so powerful. So if you like podcasts, if you listen to them while you work out, or while you jog, or while you clean the house, or while you drive, just find Crushing Life with Delatorro on your favorite podcasting platform. And that's yet another way that you can be getting access to great content, because I think, especially coming out of a pandemic, y'all, we got to really guard our heart and mind, right? And we got to guard what we're listening to and what we're taking in. And I think having good inspirational material that's practical and tactical, that gives you steps to walk out, right, is crucial to your next level.
Absolutely.
So I think now's the time to be able to implement and execute on that. So I salute both of you all for the incredible work that you've done. Thank you for inviting me to the roundtable. It's been a remarkable joy.
Thank you so much for being here with us. Please join us next week here at the same time, where we'll be talking to Dr. Michael Caparelli about his new devotional book, and we'll be talking about Christianity and mental health. So please make sure that you join us here at the roundtable next week. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit that bell, and we will see you next week. Thank you much for joining us.
Love you, brother.
Woo! Love you all so much. Thank you. God bless.
Phenomenal. An hour and 15 minutes. Awesome.
Yeah.